I don't care if you're 66 or 26. You work with concrete all day, it's gonna kick your ass. You know, I was worried a little bit about its hanging ability because it's an attachment to your drill, right? So it's a jigsaw and an attachment. Man, oh man, shit. Hey, 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 hey. That is a 22 caliber.
We're starting here, starting right now. 1, 2, 3. We breathe it in. We feel our hearts, they're pounding, rising up to feel the fire dance wild through our veins. We take a chance, no, we'll never be the same. Giving it all we got, giving it all. Giving it all we got. Climbing up to the top of the world. No fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? How you doing? Whoa. Got my hat on, so at least I can prevent the clip on the head from my shed. And it is morning here on Thai Farm, where I just got back from the Sunday market. Yeah. I didn't find anything. I mean, I saw a few things, but I don't know. Just wasn't in the mood, I guess. But I like the market because I did see some things that give me ideas. That's kind of like what it is. It's like an idea factory out there, you know, in the secondhand section anyway. You know, 80% of it is all the other market stuff, food, clothes, whatever. The other 20% is secondhand stuff and antique stuff and all that. Anyway, this morning I have been requested, it seems that not a lot of water coming from the city out there. What's that? Tom Leo? Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna go ahead and cancel that one. But the idea was I was gonna take my little Komitsu water pump that I put wheels on, take it down to the canal down yonder and pump water out of the canal into the forward canal roadside and just let it flow all the way down to our farm, because that's I don't know, 4 or 5 farms that way before the parallel canal, the perpendicular canal. Anyway, it would just flow down here so we can get the water to flow into the rice, because rice needs more water right now before its final push to growth stage or to flowering stage. But as my wife just informed me, you know, there's, you know, we're not the only ones with the issue with respect to, you know, needing the water for the rice and stuff. So somebody else beat us to it. They probably got the low tie. Even though this is a mobile pump, they're probably using the traditional way of doing it, which is the, you know, with the walk behind tractor, and they just hook up the belt and the hose and woomba, woomba. I do need to fix my intersect here because my tank is starting to drain, get low. Speaking of draining, I drained this yesterday because my wife come at me again saying that there's no pressure in the water hose. There's no water pressure. Like, you know, I'm like, what? She was thinking something wrong with the pump. You know, you did something to the pump when you're moving it. And no, But just to go through the process of illumination, I went and busted the impeller off and all that, and looked at everything, and everything's good, and it's actually less obstruction than the previous one, so if anything it should have more pressure. So yeah, out on the hose end of it, there's a couple patches that my wife had put in with hose clamps, and looks like she probably ran over one of them in the car the day before yesterday or whatever, when she was gonna go take her mom somewhere or whatever, and it flattened the hose clamp. So yeah, no water coming out. So I ripped that out of there and I repatched it with actual PVC inside. I took my heater gun. The hose is about a, I don't know, I don't think it's a 3/4. It might be, but anyway, I took a 1/2-inch pipe. It's close to a 1/2 inch, that hose. But I had to heat up the hose and heat up the PVC pipe and merge them together, you know, because it wouldn't go when it was cold. And did on both sides, double hose clamp on both sides, wrapped it around with tape. Looks like a charm, plenty of pressure. Nothing wrong with the pump. But today, God help me, it's another cement day. This one finished that beam, it's all built in over there. Just, it'll look a lot better once it's rendered and cleaned up. I did manage to put the form on this the whole way, so I should be able to just mix cement. I can pour this whole thing at one time. What I did do, this wood was broke, so I used caulking to fill in all these little cracks. I figured out, you know, it's easier to use caulking instead of trying to find little bits of wood and stuff and mix and match and patch like I did on this side. But you know, this side was the learning experience, I suppose, on how I could do a workaround with all those, you know, making it go through the cement. So you know that, and then now that I'm, you know, I was worried a little bit about its hanging ability or the hang weight, because this is such a long window. But the reality is, one, I have these two metal, you know, bars, and they have the open bars, so the cement is inside the open bar as well, holding that in place. Then I have long round bar, the length of it, and it's hooked up on top of this side and that side, so that also supports the weight of it. But then of course I have all of the crossbars now locked in, and that supports the weight. So I think I might have some overkill there, but in my mind's eye I'm like, well, is it gonna come down? But then of course now I'm gonna make a frame too, right? Window frame. I'm gonna make a window jamb for the frame to go in, so that's going to be steel across the top. I've decided, I think I'm just going to use steel window frame, we're not actual window frame, but frame mount, because the steel will be there, and then I'll have the window guy come over and he'll use like aluminum frame or whatever to mount to the steel. But I think that'll further make it actually support. And what I'm going to do is, instead of making the frame where, you know, you would make a piece of metal here and then you would cut it out of 45 and you'd have another one to, you know, just weld it there, I think it's stronger if I just have it go here and the other one is just underneath it, so it's supporting on top of it, I think. But anyway, so yeah, so now that I've gotten this, and I did that yesterday actually, so the caulking is dry enough, set caulking for big crack filler or whatever, so this should be enough, and I should be able to get it done today. And so the last part will then be this. I don't know if I can do that. So today is Sunday. This will take me all day. It's probably gonna take, you know, my batch in cement is 2 and 1, you know, so 2 buckets of sand and 1 bucket of cement with 1 bucket of rock for the concrete. Shouldn't say cement, it's concrete. And that'll be probably 1, 2, 3. I'll probably have to do that 5 times, man. I probably had to do that 5 times to fill this form, make this beam, and that ain't easy, man. One of them is a nightmare because I gotta, and one of them will give me between 3 and 4 buckets, depending on how much I've filled the sand buckets when I walk them from over there. But I usually get 2 to 3 buckets of concrete, and 1 bucket of concrete. Go ahead, try to lift it, man. Try to lift a bucket of a wet bucket of concrete. Man. But anyway, scaffolding will make it easier. What else, Craig? I want to get that done. That's right. You know what? I wasn't even going to do that today. I was going to go out on my motorbike and go mess around. Get some different kind of video for myself. Oh, look, man, turtle. Check him out. Can you see him? He's right there. That is your Asian pond turtle right there. He'll jump off if I go over there. But he must have made his way through canals or something. Probably in the back canal, and then crawled up over from over there, and then just plopped himself down in there. I'll try to get closer, but I know what's going to happen is he's gonna dive off and extend my. I try not to look at him. There he goes. Boom. Yeah, he got spooked when I tripped over the damn thing. But that's probably another aspect of when I chucked all these branches in here, and the snails just went all over them. Probably because they were green, right? And now I don't see too many snails at all. But it created this little forest underneath there. And that's probably one of them things that the turtles like. Although a while back I saw a baby turtle over there. I wonder if it's the same one. I don't think so, because the turtles, those turtles, the Asian pond turtle, they're highly mobile. They can go everywhere, man. They're the movers. You can't keep them in one place. You see people that have them like in tanks or whatever, in a pond that's in a smaller pond. They just have the turtles and like, oh look, they're so cool, That's got to be horrible for a turtle, man. They haul ass. That's why I had turtle races. If you saw those videos, I'd catch them and I'd race them, and then I'd let them go into the ponds. And fair enough, we'd empty the ponds, and of course they'd be gone, because they swim around a little bit and they'll hit the bank and go, wait a minute, man, take off into the rice fields and go look at other stuff. They just keep moving, man, keep moving. Which reminds me, I still haven't built that new trap for the canal back there, so I can catch turtles, and catfish, and snakes, and whatever else come through there. Snakehead, catfish. Turtles, man, I like them. I've eaten turtle meat before, but I think it was in Jamaica or something. Jerk turtle. It's like jerk chicken. That's like soft shell turtle, Chinese food or something. these trees, we got the snakes like the palm trees that shed this stuff. They like hanging out up in there too, because there's a lot of birds that go up in here. I saw a lot of green pit vipers on the Thai biodiversity Facebook page. You know, people post and say, hey, what kind of snake is this, you know? And you know, there's been 2, 3, 4 different people posting the green pit viper. I don't know if it's because this time of year or what, but it's an easy snake to identify. It's like neon green practically, and it's got a diamond shaped head, so stay away from that. And as a general rule, any fish or any snake with a diamond shaped head is probably not a good thing. Anyway, maybe I could do a little cement. It's still early. I could do, well, you know, that's the thing. If I start the cement, I want to finish the whole thing. Fuck it, maybe I can do it. I'm gonna do it because I want to get this done. We're leaving here in a few days or whatever to head down south. Be gone for, what are you doing? Be gone for a few more days, and hopefully I'll take my drone and my camera and get a little video out there on our journey down south to Khun. It's a couple hours, I think, past Pranbury down there in Prachop Kirikan. And yeah, so I want to get some of this done. Ideally, it'd be perfect. I could get all 3 of these done and pull off all the forms and all that stuff. So when I come back, I can get busy on, you know, cleaning that up and rendering. That'd be sweet. But it takes a lot out of you, man. I don't care if you're 66 or 26. You work with concrete all day, it's gonna kick your ass. All right, man, let's do it. Let's get dirty. I'll get back at you. Oh, well, that's all done. Got it poured, and yeah, that was like 5 different loads of cement in my bucket. And then actually I did have some left over, and what I did was I started filling in the rest of the pipe. Remember, I wanted to fill that in all the way up, right? I wanted to do it after this, like so. Anyway, I was able to fill that one in, and I filled that one in a little bit, or actually all the way too. And that one, I don't know, it's probably halfway, 3/4 the way or something. Because the last batch, I actually made sure I filled the sand really high, and the rocks. So I got, yeah, I think I got 4 good buckets out of it. I only needed 2 for the rest of the pour on the beam. So I basically used another 2 buckets on that pipe, and part of that pipe. Although I did part of that yesterday too. So anyway, getting that done. I still got those 3 to do, and the rest of that one I'll figure that out. Oh my God. Yeah. Man. Man, oh man of Chevets. I always remember that saying from the commercial, but now that I think about it, I don't know what Manischewitz was. Was it wine? Or butter or something? I don't know. I tell you though, making the forms, I did use, I think, I always forget the names. It's not that I'm bad with names, I just don't use them enough, I guess. But one of my subs from the, where was it from? The Twilight Zone? No. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, they're saying to, I might have mentioned this earlier, to use jigsaw to cut out the hoops so I could use one piece instead of doing all them little pieces like I did. And I don't really have a jigsaw, but I do. I mean, I have this one. If you've ever seen this thing, it's an attachment to your drill, right? So it's a jigsaw and an attachment. And I tried using that one. It was a little bit, it was a little squirrely, but then I realized that the nature of plywood is that it snaps easy enough. So actually I just used my skill saw and just went yank, yank, snap, and then yank, yank, snap, as long as I drew it right. But yeah, and so that's what I did. Although some of them were a little wider, because at first the saw went that way. So, but I was able to use that single piece. This piece broke off because this piece was actually over there, and that's where I used my nail gun, you know, my fastener, bam, bam. And when I tried to take it off, it broke. So I lost the bottom of that one. But I filled it in with the, when I moved it over here, I filled it in with the caulking. And I did have 2 more fasteners, but I ran out of these fasteners. So I couldn't shoot the whole thing, which I was gonna shoot the whole thing, because with the exception of this one, maybe, not even this one probably. But I realized that, and you can probably see that right there, that when I pulled those others off with the fastener was only in the metal like this far. So my earlier concerns about, man, it's gonna be a bitch to rip those off of there, I'm gonna have to rip the whole thing out, and they came right out of the metal. They're really secure, but they came right out of the metal, which led me to believe that, you know what, I'm gonna bolt those, bam, 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 and then I shouldn't have a problem. I can get them out of there, which I probably can, but right now I ain't gonna worry about it, because 1, I ran out of fasteners, and 2, I'm done with that portion of the program. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, 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 hey. That's my fan hitting the metal, because when you pick it up like this, I'm always grabbing the front, so I bend my, you know, they bend the little metal things inside there, and that makes it, you know, hit the fan. Yeah, man, it's getting there. This morning when I came out and looked at that, you know, how the other side that's finished, how the beams, how the bars go through the cement to the outside, I like that. I think that's going to be a nice touch. More secure, maybe. Hold the whole thing together, hold the walls upright more during any subsidence periods from excess rain or Mother Nature. Although, like I said, man, I build this stuff just over the top. You know, mostly because I'm redoing things or something like that. But then, you know, I go, oh, I want to make it, you know, make it stronger. Got to make sure. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna come out fucking bulletproof. I see I heard Lazada. I didn't see him, but I heard the motorcycle. But I see I got a package over here. Oh, let's see what it is, man. Oh, I know what this is. I can hear it. E-growl nail, yeah. I hope it's, when I ran out of nails the other day, I ordered more, so yeah. There they are, man. That is a 22 caliber nail gun fastener. It's even got the little tiny, like a primer point, you know, like on a bullet. Anyway, I'm glad those came, but I don't think I need them now. But it is good to know. I mean, I've used a fastener on a number of things, on cement and all that stuff, but I never took plywood and nailed it to metal bar with these. So now that I know that it actually doesn't go all the way in the metal, now I can, you know, I can think about that when I'm going to do other projects where I might want to use it as a clamp, because that's really what it was. I was using it as a clamp, right? Hold that thing on the. And that's the thing about doing it yourself. You know, it should be DIBY, right? Doing it by yourself. Because I see a lot of DIY that, oh, it's DIY and I got my friend with me. What? And for work like this, of course you should probably have somebody with you, right? Big old long beams, you know, you got all that structural stuff over there on the top and everything. You have to be able to hold it up and balance it and all that other stuff. But I am by myself here on the farm. I mean, I got my wife with, you know, she's not gonna climb up on the scaffolding. She'll climb a tree though, you know, 80 feet in the air and pull a mango off of it or something, but no, I can't get on the scaffolding. That's dangerous. And it is dangerous, I guess. When we first bought the house in this, you know, the big knockdown house there, the main house, and the boys were here, you know, putting it in or whatever, installing it and stuff. Let's see if I can keep that there. They were, I think he was putting the second level of scaffolding on, you know. It was like 3 or 4 of them doing it at the same time. And I don't know what happened. I was what do you call that, time lapsing the video from this side. I was over here and wash all that cement down. But yeah, man, the whole tower came teetering over. Yeah, and the guy was up there, and they had just kind of put it up, and I forget what the guy was doing. He was supposed to be, the guy was on the bottom, we're supposed to be holding it because he was, you know, bringing the thing up and this counterweight or whatever. But the thing went, yeah, and he's like, well, I see him kind of coming at me, and he just, you know, jumps off of it and lands on the ground, boom, and fell, you know. He wasn't really hurt or anything. He's probably scared more than anything. But I remember when he fell and he got up, he looked at those two guys, or the younger guys. Because the older guy that was up there, he looked at the younger guys with them eyes like, I am gonna fucking kill you. It was like, oh man, all right. I should do a workshop on how to roll around the second floor or whatever, you know. When you're falling from heights, right? you don't try to land on 2 feet, like jumping up like that, man. When you fall from a height, you do it just like you're doing if you're going to parachute. Not that everybody goes parachuting, but if you're coming down in a parachute, you're coming down face first, you know, at an angle like that. You obviously you don't want to land like that. You're gonna eat the dirt, right? So anytime you land, anytime you jump off of something, you're at an angle. You can't just. I suppose you could step off and go straight down. Which even people that accidentally step off the ledge, you know, as soon as they step off, they go whoa, and they start to fall, you know, again at an angle. So the idea is that when you fall at an angle, you make sure that you are at an angle when you land. So whether it's the left foot or whether it's the right foot, and then when you land, you roll to that side. You know, you let your legs give way, you know, and have your shoulder and everything else. You could basically kind of somersault, or not so much the somersault, but a sideways. You just roll, tuck and roll out of it. Lessen the impact. So it's kind of like kaboom, and you roll over. And you can save your legs that way. I mean, I used to do that anytime I was, you know, jumping out of my second floor bedroom window. Which is usually in the, you know, in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sneak out. And my mom's sleeping, it's time to get out and stay out all night with the boys. I just open that big, you know, slide window or whatever, perch up there on my windowsill, checking it out, and then jump off and boom, roll out of it. Not a problem. Now one time I was fighting with my brother or whatever and running through the house, and he was after me, man. He's one of those, you know how when you fight with your brothers, right? So he was after me, and I go running through the house, and my bed is below the window, right? And the window was wide open, no curtains or nothing. And it's the window faces another apartment building, right? So there's like this alleyway between the two, and it was a grass belt or grass between the two on the bottom, led out into the alley. And we were the last apartment, so there was a carport roof. So it was my room and then the carport roof in the alley. But between the two was the grass. And anyway, I was running through the house, and I just like it was nothing. I just ran, bounded on the bed, and just like tucked right through the window. And just like right through the window, and then sure enough, landed on the grass, you know, the same way I always do, just kind of boom, rolled out of it, stood right up, you know. I turned back in the window, yay, you know. He's looking out the window like, you but you know, it's all that fast twitch muscle fiber. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like, you know, and I think of that actually now that I'm older, because as you get older, or I should say when you get old, you have to think about how you fall, man. You know, you don't just fall backwards and go, oh, and put your elbow out there and let it shatter and drive your humerus all the way up into your freaking throat, snapping your clavicle and everything else. But yeah, you want to think about that. I remember when they invented rollerblades. Rollerblades, they still have them. I don't even think they call them rollerblades anymore, but we used to put fireworks on the end of our rollerblades to, you know, make it look cool and stuff. But anyway, and they, you know, people were just getting hurt right and left. So then naturally it came out with more safety gear. You know, they had the helmet, of course, which was really just like a bicycle helmet, but and they rounded it, and then later that helmet became a skateboard helmet, I believe. I think it was a rollerblade helmet that became a skateboard helmet instead of a skateboard helmet that became a rollerblade helmet. But anyway, they made those wrist guards, so you put your glove on, you know, the fingerless gloves, and in it had that hard acrylic metal bar. It was a metal bar inside, or maybe it was a metal bar inside of a hard rubber. No, I think it was acrylic. It was like a metal bar that was dipped in acrylic or something. I don't know. Anyway, and then it slipped inside the glove slot. So, but it was had a permanent bend on it, right? So when you crash, and invariably in rollerblading, you would crash because you hit that damn rock or something. And the biggest crash was always just going over the, face first. So you would wind up with your arms out, sprawled or whatever. And then people were breaking their wrists that way. And so they made this wrist guard so that when you impacted the ground, it glanced off, right? You just, that way you went sliding instead. And then you got knee pads, and the knee pads were hard plastic on the outside and on the sides, so that again, the idea was that you would crash on rollerblades and you'd go sliding instead of getting hurt, which ironically kind of turned out to hurt a few more people, although it's still a good piece of safety equipment. But we figured out that, hey man, this stuff makes you slide, so let's we go rollerblading, and then you could put your hand down on the ground, like if you're really you're going around a corner on rollerblades, or maybe you're on the track or something like that, whatever. But you could haul ass on rollerblades and put your hand down on the ground and let the wrist guard go and go sliding on the ground, and then later, naturally, it would burn a hole in the material right at the bridge of the rollerblade guard, and then it would actually burn through, or grind through the outer coating of the plastic around the metal. Now they're probably all acrylic or something. They probably don't have metal. But at night, when you went blading and you're hauling ass down the hill or whatever, you're on the sidewalk or something like this, you go shooting around the corner, you'd put your hand down and you'd turn it just a little bit so that piece of exposed metal would hook up on the sidewalk, and it would just send a rooster of sparks. All that kid stuff. I like sparks. I don't know if you've ever done this, but we used to take our bike, like a Stingray bike, and we get an old rim, no tire, just take the tire off of it and all that stuff. Put the rim on there, and then go hauling ass down the street and slam on the brakes. This is when you had, like kickback brakes, not the hand brakes, and it would grind down that rim, and it would send massive amount of sparks from the street. I mean, just like 100, it was awesome. And the more the rim got flattened out because you were grinding it, the more sparks. And then eventually, of course, it would cave in on itself, and you'd go, and you'd probably crash. But yeah, you could probably still do that. Oh, I saw, as a matter of fact, I just saw, remember how when we were kids, if you're my age or whatever, you probably did it later, but and you had a bike, and you used to use clothespins to put your playing cards, or even baseball cards, but not really baseball cards, but you put playing cards in the spokes, make it go right. I just saw a video where some guy, I don't know if I think it's current, that's a heck of a lot more current than we were, but he made like professional cards for the spokes, and they were like three different sizes for like the engine or whatever. So he had his son or his daughter there with the bike. He's all, what are you thinking? And he shows her like the the 200 or whatever, or the 450, or the 550 or something like that. And he just picks one, and and he just clips it into the, you know, it's a harder plastic. He clips it into the spoke, and so it takes off, and sure enough, you know, it's got that. I mean, when we did it with playing cards, it was more like a, you know, and these ones were more like a baffle on a bike. They're very cool. Matter of fact, now that I remember that, I'm gonna have to look at that on the Zada. Maybe I can put them on my Japanese bike and go ride around the village at night, scaring people. Yeah, those were the days, man. I'm tired now. Whoa. What? You guys want to see some fish? Where's fish from? It's not really their eating time, but. Okay, well, remember, this is unusual. Go get the word out. And be like, hey man, you see all the leaves in the water. The wind's starting to pick up. Of course, you know, it's getting to be spring, you know. So, you're gonna lose all them leaves, man. I said that before. These trees are gonna be, none of these trees are gonna have leaves on them. They're all gonna be in here. Eventually, what happens is they all, you know, the leaves get saturated and fall to the ground or fall to the bottom. I was gonna go out to the temple on the hill over here. I don't think I've showed that yet, but I like it. It's a pretty cool place. It's not finished though. We're still making it. And on the way, on the road in there, on the right side, there's a pond. And the pond is that milky blue, light, you know, milky baby blue color that you've seen probably on videos and stuff. And normally you can get that color. I could probably get that color here if I kept doing the blue dye, you know, and then imbalance the whole pH and everything. I don't want to do that, but anyway, it's mostly, but that color, I mean, I can do blue here, you've seen that before, but that blue is, you know, it's unique because because it's stayed that color. It's been that color. I've been over there like half a dozen times. It's still the same color over the last couple of years. So that tells me that it's not blue dye or anything. It's either because, you know, it's the water from mining something else, like a, you know, maybe they were digging out some other kind of mineral from out of there or something like that. And you know, and it just left, you know, mostly actually that's from copper, I think. But there was no signage over there or anything, and I was like, what is it from, man? I like finding out what the, you know, backstory is on stuff. I'm sure I could find that out if I wanted to somehow. One of these guys probably know, but probably not the average worker over there. Temple is, like I say, it's still being worked on. It's just a massive amount of marble. One of those temples in the mountains full of marble. Pretty cool. You know, the art. Oh, that's right. Matter of fact, I went there with my friend, and we went inside like the top. There's like a dome, you know, like a dome kind of top before the spire, and this guy had the scaffolding in there, and the scaffolding looked like some kind of MC Escher, you know, design or something. But there was a guy up there, and he was painting the ceiling like, you know, like a Michelangelo or something. We're like, whoa, dude! And he was just up there by himself, you know. And I was like, hey, and the whole ceiling is painted like celestial planets and stuff like that, like the Buddha and the planets and this and that. Very cool looking. And he's all, yeah, come on up, yo. And we're like, no, it's okay. He goes, yeah, just come up. And I'm thinking, well, okay. So we went, you know, you had to kind of duck under scaffolding and go up the most rickety ass way to where, you know, he had the deck around the outside, that two by fours or whatever deck, so you could get close and look at all the stuff he repainted and stuff. And anyway, it was pretty cool. I was like, this is gonna look cool, man. What would be really cool, I didn't look, but you know, if there was an opening to where it was like you know, an observatory where you could put a telescope in there, because I've been to a lot of temples. I love going to the very ornate temples, the ones that are, you know, you can see that they have put in a lot of work and just incredible design in some of these. And but anyway, what the hell is I saying? Yeah, but oh yeah, I know. And I've never, out of all the temples, I've never seen the celestial paintings. A painted one. I've seen some Michelangelo kind with some incredible, awesome paints. You know, painting with ours right here in Ban Mai. You know, our Wat here in Ban Mai. I don't know if I've showed that one on the inside. I think I have. But there are huge paintings all around the inside of the hall. You know, and those each painting is like a whole story of, you know, it's a folklore or whatever. It's not so much folklore, it's kind of like the Aesop's fables within Buddhism. You know, each picture has a little bit of story that teaches you a lesson or whatever. But you know, an artist painted all of them, and there's usually 24 or something, I think, or no, maybe 23. They don't like even numbers, I think. But yeah, and I think I made that video, yeah, a while back, last year, something about the laterite temple, you know, the one that's made of just old ancient rock, like, and all around the wall that's covering the outside, there's a big, huge, each rock has been carved out with that same kind of story, and they're all around the whole temple. So each story is hand carved in rock. We saw the guy carving it and stuff. It's in there. So he carved them all out of that stone around the whole temple. What's up, buddy? Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. Anyway, I'll get that done. And yeah, oh, I was able to finish. I think it's just about noon or so, so I got a little bit of time left in the day. I thought about doing that wood decking a little bit, but I think I need to save my energy, man. Driving down south, you know, for I don't know, some ungodly amount of hours. I need my strength for that. It takes its toll. I gotta be rested up. Still, I could do some light duty around here. That's why I want to go right around. It's a little warm today, but anyway, man, keep following me for progress on my little love shack over there. And I'll get back at you maybe with a little video, next video maybe, of my local mountain temple in the blue waters of Kamphaengphet. Alright then, thanks for watching. Keep watching, and I'll get back at you.